again in glory as they baptized. As Margie put on Christ, so in Christ may she be clothed with glory. Here and now, dear friends, we are God's children. What we shall be has not been revealed. But we know that when He appears, we shall be like Him. We shall see Him as He is. Those who have this hope purify themselves as Christ is pure. Thank you. Please be seated. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and I am life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, yet shall they live, and whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. I died, and behold, I am alive forevermore. And I hold the keys of hell and death. Because I live, you shall live also. We have gathered here today, friends, to praise God and to witness to our faith as we celebrate the life of Miss Margie. We come together in our grief, acknowledging our human loss, and ask that God would grant us grace that in our pain we find comfort, in sorrow, hope, and in death, resurrection. On behalf of the family, thank you so much for coming and lending your support. Also, on behalf of the family and for me as well, express our appreciation to Lois for being here with us today as well. Thank you, Lois. If you would, bow with me, please. Eternal God, we praise you at this time for the great company of all those who have finished their course in faith and now rest from their labor. We praise you for those dear to us whom we name in our hearts before you. Today especially we praise you for Margie Gibbs, whom you have graciously received into your presence. To all of these, grant your peace, let perpetual light shine upon them, and help us so to believe where we have not seen, that your presence may lead us through our years, and bring us at last with them into the joy of your home, not made with hands, but eternal in the heavens, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Times like this, we turn to Scripture for reassurance and for comfort, familiarity. Today we read from the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
I met Miss Margie 11 years ago when I came to Ebenezer, UNC, fresh out of seminary. I was impressed immediately by her amazing talent at the piano. She had a lively musical style, and Anne says she was still playing the piano and singing on the last evening of her life. Margie had a delightful Southern charm and warmth. She was a real support to me as I went through those first years of learning how to be a minister, boosting my self-confidence with the most extravagant compliments. For instance, she would tell me repeatedly, "Oh, Lois, everyone here is totally in love with you." And I would say, I know that's not true, Margie. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Over time, I got to know her well as she shared her thoughts, memories, dreams, and fears with me. She was very articulate, a sweet person, artistic and sensitive, and always reminded me of a delicate flower. But she also had a remarkable passion for enjoying life to the fullest. She felt everything deeply, joys and sorrows and all the emotions in between. She was slowly losing her hearing in those days, which was a great pity, especially for someone so fond of conversation and music. She sometimes spoke of how much she missed teaching and the pleasure of watching her students grow in their musical abilities. Gradually, she became more and more frail, physically and emotionally. Walt and Gary did all they could to see to her needs. I remember the many trips Gary made, taking her to doctors and the hospital at all hours. But she seemed to be fading away. Then she went to live with Anne in Louisiana. Fortunately, Anne was in a position to provide her with 24-hour-a-day loving care, and Margie seemed to bloom into vitality again. It was wonderful to see the happy pictures and videos Anne put on Facebook of Margie's final years there. I was especially glad that Anne's children had an opportunity to get to know their grandmother so well during that time, as John had been able to do in years past growing up next door. Margie's family was very important to her, but especially her grandchildren. She talked about them so often, and when she did, her face would light up with love and pride. She delighted in their every accomplishment. I know they will remember her always with great love and affection, as will all of us who knew her. I'm grateful that this unique lady was part of my life and the life of this church and the community. She was a dear blessing to all of us.
her so long on earth. Her mother passed away when she was a young girl at the tender age of 7, and I think that's right, Linda, if I'm not mistaken. And her sister Angie at 5. She could never really talk about it without crying, but she is now reunited with her family. Most of y'all know, and actually mine, I'm saying repetitively a lot of what you're saying, so that's a good thing. As most of you know, Mother moved to Baton Rouge to live her last chapter of her life in the '09. Gary and Walt took care of her as long as they could, and I knew it was my time to take over. It was the best decision I ever made in my life, and it worked out beautifully. Over time, I became Mama's caregiver. At times, it was most challenging and such a bittersweet situation, as I had the pleasure of having her for so long, but I also saw her becoming so frail, disoriented, lifeless, and it was so difficult to endure. She became my child over time. Actually, I didn't even call her Mom anymore, I called her Lady, because it wasn't really my mom. But anyway, the last 2 memorable events were a few months ago. She and I flew out to San Diego, not San Diego, San Antonio. I think I need to put the glass on. To see my son graduate from the Air Force in July 30th, attending his wedding. She had the time of her life, when I tell you. She could walk short distances, but she was in a wheelchair most of the time. So I got her out on the wheelchair and started shagging with her and going around with it, and all the friends got up and started shagging it. And she finally said, "Y'all, I need to stop. I'm tired. My arms are getting tired." But she was so happy. There was a grand piano there, and she even played the piano in the bar. And one of the managers had come up to her and said, "Please let me compensate you." And her response was, "Heavens no." She always said, "Heavens no." I know many of you today took music lessons from Mama and had her as a teacher. When she couldn't find a place to teach her students, to whom she loved every one of them, everyone, she would graciously open her home to all that were interested. She played for many, many years right here in this little church that she adored. When I would sit on the piano bench right over there since I was 2, I guess. Sure wish I had a picture of that way back when, you know. And played, I sat right by her for every Sunday of the week. Within the last few years at home, I'd get her to play the piano, and this is really a true story. I think that's why she had longevity as well. I would put the piano was in the living room in the front, and I'd put a trifle bowl by the piano, and I would say, "Mom, people are walking down the street. You really need to start playing the piano, and because they want to hear you play, they love to hear you play, and you may be even compensated for it." And she said, "I don't need any money, anything. I'll play. I'll be happy to play." So she would go into the living room, and I have a large foyer area, and I would unlock the door, and I would knock on the door, and I'd say, "Oh, Mama, someone's here." And then she'd just brighten up, and I'd get like $10 or $15, and I'd take like $2 at a time. And say, "Well, thank you so much," and shaking people's hands. Of course, nobody was really there. But Mama didn't know. Mama thought she was really getting money, which was perfect. Anyway, I am finding dollar bills and $5 bills everywhere in her room. I'm not kidding you. It's just really funny. But when she would receive, although she said, "I don't want any monies," when she would receive the monies, she even played better. She was going to town. We had it set up as such that we had a video camera, thank goodness for that, because I'll have many memories of watching that over and over. She played a heart out, we would have friends coming over, and we would sing, thought we could sing well, but, you know, we really couldn't. And, but she didn't care. You know, she was playing that piano, that's what she loved. And as Miss Laura said, she was playing literally, I have a small video of her playing 2 hours prior to the Lord taking her home. There were a few things that Mama always wanted me to do, and I can assure you I will honor her wishes. And they're really things that we should do every day, all day. Maybe not the first one, but first of all, to learn how to play the piano properly. She wanted to carry on to the tradition, so I told her, I said, I will certainly take care of that. Number 2, to always sit at the dinner table with the family. It's just gotten, lately, this hustle bustle of life, and someone's eating over here, or somebody will wait until an hour later, or, you know, that's really quality time, sitting at the dinner table with your family. Also, to read my Bible and to say my prayers every night. She said her prayers every night. And she talked loud, and she talked out loud. And I could hear her from my room, and it was just, every night she was praying to her Lord. She loved him so, and he was ready for her to come, to be with him in heaven, to make beautiful music. In ending, I want to say from the very, very, very bottom of my heart, if any of y'all are out here that still have your moms or your dads, or both, blessed enough to have both, please let them know every day, regardless of what's going on, how busy you are, it doesn't matter. It takes just minutes to pick up the phone and call and say, I love you, Mom, I love you, Dad. And that was the last thing I said to my mother. I love you, Mom, and I'm so grateful for that. We tend to lose focus on things like that because every day is a gift, for sure. And that was the last thing I said to her was, I love you. And that's pretty much it. But I want to thank all of y'all again so much, so very much for being here today in her honor. I really do. Thank you.
I'd like to share with you now some verses from one of my favorite chapters, John 14. Jesus said, do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again, and I will take you to myself, so that where I am, there you may be also. A little while the world no longer see me, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. I have said these things to you while I am still with you, but the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything, and remind you of all that I have said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. In making some notes for what I would say this afternoon, I wrote in my first sentence that you could well say that I'm at a disadvantage this afternoon because I knew Miss Margie less than anybody else in the church. That's not exactly correct. I wasn't sure what to use, but I used disadvantage. But I guess what I really mean is I got gypped. I didn't get to know her the way that some of you did. I met her once. She came to church one Sunday on a visit with Gary and Walt, and she played the piano for us, and we talked a little bit after church. And it was obvious from just that little bit of time that I was around her that she was such a sweet and a gracious lady. And I'm truly sorry I didn't have the opportunity to know her better and to hear her play the piano more. I have heard stories about her playing and about her teaching and about the positive influence she's been in the lives of so many people. And it's that kind of influence and impact that lives on in a community because of the lives she touched. And even in her passing, she continues to touch us and influence what we do. By being their pastor, I've become friends with Gary and Walt, John. And I came over Thursday evening to visit with Gary and Walt and to meet Ann. I'd never met Ann, and to just visit and go over some details of the service. And it was a great time. Time just flew. We stayed a long time, and meeting her was not like meeting a stranger, Ann, that is, at all. We were like friends right away. We talked about the service, but mostly we just visited. It's that old southern thing we do. But Susan came in, and her arrival was accompanied by much juvenile jumping up and down and hugging and laughing. And we went on with some continued storytelling, some of which I'm not permitted to share with you all after. The usual stuff. But it was a time of remembrance and sharing with that thread of Mama and Miss Marjorie being woven in all that we talked about. She was there in the midst of that group, and she always will be, because she was such a presence in y'all's lives. It's the way of life and it's the way of creation that we come and we go, and what's important is what we do in the meantime. We don't stop. We don't cease to exist. Now, here on earth, we will continue to live, as Marjorie will, in the memories of those that she loved and those who loved her. But we live on as well, and she lives on as well, in a part of our lives that we spend in eternity with our Lord. And Miss Marjorie's going on to that next part, where she will live on forever there. But we have that assurance that we will do the same thing if we choose Jesus. I said I love John 14, and if you've been to more than 2 or 3 funerals in your life, you've probably heard somebody use it before. It's quite often used in funerals. It reassures us about where our loved ones have gone, but it's also a scripture for us, for those of us who are still alive. It's a scripture reassurance for our lives. As we wake up and greet each new day, we live in a faith of strength and courage and joy because we know the promise of Jesus. I've gone to prepare a place for you. I don't tell a lie, so you know I'm coming back to take you there with me, and there's plenty of room. Don't worry. So when we think of Miss Marjorie, we know that she has received the promise of Christ. She has claimed her place. We also know the promise Christ has made to each one of us, that we have a place as well. So as we celebrate her life and her passing, I would just say treasure your memories of Miss Marjorie and enjoy them and share them. She will live on through her influence on all those that she touched. And she lives on with Jesus in that special home that He has prepared for her. So there's plenty of room. I have a writing that I use quite often. It's from Henry Van Dyke. And on the copy I have, there is no title, but I believe it is, and that is dying. And it goes like this. I'm standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and the sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, there, she's gone. Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side, and she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone at my side says, "There she's gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, and other persons ready to take up a glad shout. Here she comes, and that is dying. We look forward to that day that we will see our Lord. I think too, Miss Margie jumping up and down on the shore saying, "There they come." And that is. You would bow with me once more. Now may the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth is named according to the riches of God's glory, grant each of you to be strengthened with might through God's Spirit in your inner being. That Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ, which surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with the fullness of God. God of love, we thank you for all with which you have blessed us even this day. For the gift of joy in days of health and strength, for the gifts of your abiding presence and promises in days of pain and grief. We praise you for home and friends, and for our baptism and our place in your church, with all who have faithfully lived and died. Above all else, we thank you for Jesus, who knew our griefs, who died our death, and rose for our sake, and who lives and prays for us. We look forward to that day when we will join in our heavenly home. We thank you, Lord, in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. This concludes our service. The family will be out in the yard and in front of the church for a little while to visit. If you'd like to join in there, asking that you would rise.
Restroom is in it right through the store. There's a restroom right there.
How are you?
Hoping I get to see you.
Yeah, I just got off work. I said I got to get my butt in.
Yeah, you did. Great.